Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back from this break. I know it's always a little bit difficult to start after a break to get in the presentation mood again. I will talk today about design with wood wool, sustainable acoustic solutions with Heradesign, to give you an idea what you can do with wood wool. This graph you have seen already today from my colleague, Dan, showing the system solutions from Knauf AMF. My focus today is solely Heradesign, the wood wool and the acoustic related to the wood wool. Here you can see a tag cloud with different expressions which are very important for our daily business. Yeah? The green label, the walls, the application areas on the ceilings, and of course, last but not least, and very important for us, the architects and the designers who are specifying our products. And without architects and designers, most probably Heradesign would be not specified in projects. So where is Heradesign coming from? Heradesign is coming from Austria in the south, from Carinthia. It's actually the birthplace of any wood wool board worldwide. Roughly in the 1920s, in the last century, Heradesign was founded. Heradesign, the wood wool board for construction business. And out of the construction business over the years, Heracoustic and Heradesign was developed as the visible acoustic application. So this is a bird's eye view about our factory in the nice south part of Austria, in Carinthia, where we produce since roughly 1920, 1925 Heradesign panels for different purposes. This here is not a computer interference, this is wood wool. So if you look at wood wool and you get the first time maybe a sample like this, it could be a little bit confusing. What should I do with this irritating surface texture? Therefore, it's important to see what you can do. This is, for example, also wood wool, applied in an auditorium in the Netherlands, or here in a cinema in Kiev, or in a swimming pool area in a large hot spring area in Vienna. So different application areas, lots of opportunities, which I will show you within the next half an hour. Before we go in detail, what you can do with the product, I want to show you the three components what are included in this board. It's a very natural product, so you need, of course, wood. You need magnesite, which is a binder, it's a mineral. And at the end, you need water. And these three components are mixed together and we form boards. As you, unfortunately, maybe will not have time within the next couple of months to visit our factory, I brought a very short video clip about the production, that you can see how is the board produced, because then some things maybe are even easier to understand how to treat them and what I can do with it. Please start the video, thanks.
At the location Ferndorf in Austria, Knauf AMF produces high-class wood wool acoustic systems, surrounded by the raw materials that we need for our products. Water is life, and it is also an important resource for us. We treat it responsibly and respectfully. In a nearby mine, magnesite is mined for our products. The wood that we use comes from healthy local forests. It is easy to process and can have many uses. It matures in our wood storage area for 8 to 12 months, depending on the seasonal conditions. After the 2-meter-long logs arrive from the nearby storage area, the journey through our factory begins. The processes are controlled by trained employees. We don't want to leave the decision-making concerning our raw materials to machines. One by one, the logs are fed into the multi-blade saw, which cuts them into exact blocks. Even at this stage, we're very careful not to waste any valuable raw materials. Unsuitable blocks are rejected and used for other purposes, while the others are lined up on conveyor belts ready for the powerful planing machines. Modern rotary planers can cope with even the thickest of logs, and they produce the wood wool which we want. While this is being transported on an elevating conveyor to the next production stage, a suspension of water and caustically burnt magnesite is being prepared in another part of the factory. A few minutes later, the wood wool is encrusted with this suspension in a specially developed process. The mixture is then transported to the insertion stations and scattered over the more than 100-meter-long steel belt of the strip forming machine. After the mixture has been loosened, a second seal belt is lowered from above and 2 narrow bands at the sides guide them in. Now begins a roughly 4-minute, 30-meter long journey through the calibration channel at temperatures of up to 220 degrees Celsius. Thanks to the heat, what leaves the strip forming machine is a continuous, homogeneous, high-quality board. Then the fully automatically circular saw comes into action and cuts the continuous board into panel lengths of between 1 and 3 meters. Before the panels come to rest in the maturing storage area, there are several quality checks to pass first. Exact panel thickness and evenness are absolutely essential. After 5 to 10 days, it's time for the finishing touches. Differing measurements combined with many kinds of edge designs and surfaces mean there are endless possibilities to make something special out of a raw panel. Now the next quality check is carried out. If our employee gives the green light, then the now nearly finished panels can go on to the next stage, coloration. The possibilities are almost limitless here too, whether the customer chooses one of the catalog colors or if the customer already has a color in mind. Everything is possible, even in small quantities. Finally, the drying marks the end of the manufacturing process. The panels are then sent to the packaging robot. While the panels are being packed and their exact destination is being attached, our committed employees are already busy improving our range of products and developing new complete systems. Well packaged, the panels then leave the factory to one of over 80 different countries. The reputation of our products for being of excellent quality is long-standing, and our panels can be found all around the world.
Okay, this was a journey through the factory, that you understand how a product is produced. What you can see here are basically the 5 textures what we can offer. Yeah? If you go from left to right, you can see the Heradesign macro, which is a very rough surface texture. By the way, all these samples and the surface textures you can see also on the desk in the back of the room, that you can feel it, you can touch it, and you can really see it. So 3 fiber optics with 3 millimeter, 2 millimeter, and 1 millimeter are available in different thicknesses, different formats. The other 2 ones, micro and plano, basically are also wood wool board, but we apply a top layer made of fine sawdust to make a porous structure on top of it, to get even another surface texture to be combined with the other products. Standard formats you can see are based on the regular 600 grid system up to a length of 2.4 meter. Panels are available. If you need something special or you need a special material feature, besides the standard products which have a classification according to the European standard in BS1 D0, we can supply also non-combustible wood wool boards in A2 quality. If this is a requirement, could be in event halls, could be in emergency hallways, wherever A2 is needed, we have fine and superfine as A2 quality. Another design feature, of course, are the edges of the panels. They are mainly depending on the installation method, how you apply them. Concealed T-grid systems, visible T-grid systems, screw mounting, aluminium profiles, a wide range of different application possibilities are available. Design opportunities actually are, you can combine definitely the products with each other. What does this mean? For example, here is a Heradesign plano, which is a very close surface combined with a super fine panel. You can have this 3-dimensional effect. Yeah? Super fine in 15 millimeter, a 25 millimeter board of plano. You could even apply color, of course, to get an extra feature on it. You can have the boards applied not only limited to the ceiling, also to the walls. You can hang them, you can incline them. Lots of opportunities are given by these panels. And of course, last but not least, color. Color is for everybody of us a very important design element. And there we can supply any color you want. If you supply us a RAL code or an NCS code, we can supply the panels with this specified color. Even if you have a very special color which is not according to RAL or NCS, maybe you want to have this color of this flooring here, we need a little piece, we send it to our manufacturer, he will match the color, we will supply a sample, and at the end you will get what you need. Very important also, application of motifs and pictures. What does this mean? This is an example of one of the largest printed Heradesign panels which we have supplied so far. It's a cafe in Germany where on this back wall Heradesign superfine panels have been applied in a total length of almost 23 meters, 3.2 meter high, with Venice printed on top of it. This looks really great, and these two functions, of course, it's like a wallpaper, but it has an additional function. It's a sound absorptive, which gives you a positive effect onto the acoustic in the room. And of course, last but not least, also the panels can be very nice, but we have to have system components, screws to screw. So all these components are, of course, available. If you have a wood board, you have certain properties, and one of the most important one is the acoustics. We heard already several things about acoustics. I have to apologize. I didn't understand everything because I'm limited to understand the languages. But nevertheless, acoustic is important, and how acoustic works. I want to give you a short example on this project. This is a project in a school, was built in the 70s without treatment for acoustics. So what was there? It was a room with lots of reflective surfaces, vinyl flooring, windows here on this side, a plastered ceiling, and the acoustic in the room was like, you can hear it in the next second. Can you start, please? Third row.
In doing so, he became the founder of modern acoustical engineering. He went on to design the acoustics of Boston Symphony Hall, still considered one of the best halls for music in the world.
We installed 45 square meters of Heradesign, and this was the result, please.
In doing so, he became the founder of modern acoustical engineering. He went on to design the acoustics of Boston Symphony Hall, still considered one of the best halls for music in the world.
For me, it's of course important to talk about acoustics. You can get lots of figures, you can get sound absorption values, but you have to hear it, you have to feel it. And here it's very important, especially in a school class. They are really sometimes underestimated in terms of acoustics. It's not only stressful for the kids when they really don't understand, because this famous reverberation time is too long. It's also very stressful for the teacher. Gets up to a burnout syndrome if you work a couple of years or decades in such environment. This is not very helpful. But with very low investment compared to the outcome, you can really nice improve rooms, not only here in this classroom. By the way, the measurement here shows at the very first begin a reverberation time of 1.88 seconds, which is totally useless for a classroom. We heard it today, or I have seen the figure, it should be somewhere at 0.5 seconds. At the end we had 0.45, which is perfect for the kids to listen. Even for hearing impaired people, they can easily understand what the teacher or the presenter is talking about. Acoustics. Another important thing is the high impact resistance. Why do you need an impact resistance for an acoustic product? Because it's very popular to install it in sports hall. In a sports hall, we have to guarantee the board will stay there where it should be. It should not break, it should not fall. And this is tested with such a cannon. Yeah? They shoot, for example, against a wall with roughly 90 kilometers an hour. And to give you an impression about how much this is, I show in the next slide, please, one video clip for this ball impact test. So I have to press the button, sorry. This one here. This is on the ceiling. And the right one you can start also, please. Side to side, that's fine. Then you see the wall as well. You have not to finish this one. Okay, this one. And this is 90 kilometers an hour. So you can imagine, this is one shot. We have to prove at least 36 shots from different angles. If you withstand, you get a certificate. The system which we tested is ball impact. You can install it without any problems in the sports hall. Out of these tests, of course, we have recommendations that you know it. 25 millimeter on the ceiling, 35 millimeter on the wall to be ball impact proof. And then you can realize projects like this one here in the UK, or for example, another one with different patterns in another school in Birmingham. Humidity could be an issue, up to 80% air humidity, no problem. If you go higher, there are certain things to consider, especially the coloration, but 80% is already so high that you feel totally uncomfortable. Yeah? Not even in a swimming pool area, you have more than 70% air conditioned, 70%, 26 degrees. If you look onto this graph, here's somewhere here, totally in the green zone, so without any doubts, you can install it in swimming pool areas without any risk of damage. Important, of course, is the substructure. Corrosion-proofed, and according to the additives they are using in the water, have to be installed. We have, besides the boards, complete system solutions. System solutions means that we have a full package with the required substructure and other elements. The most popular system is the system B. It's screw mounting. That means you take a board, you screw through the board into the substructure. The screw should be flush with the surface. This is the most critical one. It's not rocket science, but this is the most important. If I show you this here, this is a picture I took 30 centimeters in front of a board, so the screws are, for me, invisible. If they are installed 3-4 meters high, you cannot see them. Yeah? Maybe you find them already. One is here. We want to avoid this because this is definitely wrong. Yeah? If you see this, everybody is screwed. We as the manufacturer, the installer, the owner, and last but not least, you as the designer, of course, as well. Nobody is happy about this, and important is, you cannot repair it. This is not repairable. You can only remove the board and install a new one, which theoretically is good for our business, but it's not our target. Yeah? So it should be installed properly, and this is the installer then. Yeah? We have tools for it, the installer have the tools for it, and they should do it in a proper way for the satisfaction of everybody. Other system solutions, I will not talk a lot in detail, but of course any regular T-grid system can be used either visible or concealed for the installation in different areas, or here again in another school. Then we have complete wall systems. Complete wall systems means in this case the complete aluminum profile is a concealed installation system where the board have integrated grooves where you can apply them nicely to the wall or to the ceiling. Could be very interesting if you have, for example, a wall like this here, printed, and of course you want to avoid to screw through the nice printing and make any damage. Perfect system for this is the holding profiles, which we can supply as a complete package. Handling, 2-3 words to that. Very simple, very easy. You make the same what you do with solid wood or with veneer wood. You cut them from the back, you cut them from the front, depending on what tool you just use. You can make openings, you can have spots included, and if you have screws, which have to be touched up, that should be done with a very small brush. You should not touch up, or the installer should not touch up the surrounding area, because this is then visible and is distracting, and also this is unrepairable. These are so the most, let's call it, critical things. If they consider this, there should be no problem with your project. Other systems getting more and more popular are absorbing elements. These are, for example, buffers. Buffers can be created with Heradesign in different ways. Yeah? These buffers are created on site. They took our panel, they cut it whatever they want. They installed these on the ceiling in this shape by hanging them and fix them to a metal profile or to a wooden batten at the top by screw mounting. These are the buffers which we can supply. We have actually 3 different types. Yeah? 3 different types. One is called the plain, one is called the basic, and the other one is called the alu design. What is the difference to this one here? This is a single layer board, yeah? And what you have to consider with the single layer board, you have a front side and you have a rear side, and they are looking different. What we are doing is, we glue 2 15mm boards together that you have always a visible side. So there is no interference, no distraction. This is the way how we use it. The same for the plain, the same for the basic, and the same for the alu design. With the alu design, For the alu design, we have 250 millimeter boards and even a mineral wool in the center for the highest sound absorption. That's the main purpose. And we need the aluminum profile to keep the whole sandwich together. Of course, we have several different hangers depending on the situation you want to cover. In the flexible height with rope hangers or short hangers, with profiles, without profiles, lots of different things which cannot be covered within this short presentation. This is the plain buffer. In the plain buffer, you have actually no aluminum profile or any other profile visible. So you see the plain panel. What we have integrated is in the panel is a screw socket, which is a 50 millimeter screwed and glued into the panels. And then we use a M6 thread and we use the hangers to hang the whole buffer. This is an example for alu design in a university in Germany. Here with the auditorium, with the audience. You can see also here, which is important for larger projects, on the side wall, also Heradesign. Why? Because in large spaces, of course, you have to consider also flutter echoes between the walls. To avoid these, acoustic panels on the sides are very, very essential to get the best out of the room. Buffers are also here at the cafeteria in the same project. These are plain buffers in a technical college, directly fixed to the concrete ceiling with aluminum profiles. Rafts you can use as a new design in a new project, but it's also quite popular to improve rooms which are in the acoustic performance are not that well. So you can easily install them in different ways. We have sonic modular. Sonic modular is actually where we have different components which you can combine to a raft, to your design, what you want to have from very small to very large, or you can use even a sonic element, and the sonic element is a prefabricated element which you can apply easily, or the installer can apply easily to the ceiling, because here everything is included. But therefore you have only two formats, 600, 600 and 1200 and 1200 to 2.4 meter. If you want to be flexible, use the modular one. How can this look like? For example, here in the headquarters of Harley-Davidson in Germany, in their corporate color, applied into their office area, or here in a swimming pool area, different levels, different heights, different colors, all the flexibility is included. Or here a smaller one in an office in the Netherlands, where they used Heradesign modular ceiling systems. And last but not least, then wall absorbers. So now we have covered the ceiling with panels, with rafts, with buffers, and wall absorbers are prefabricated elements, completely as a set, finished, where you get the whole frame, you get the screws, you get it in the color what you want, you have it in two different heights to be applied to the wall. Maybe here it's a little bit better to see, where you can combine different heights, different formats, different colors to a three-dimensional acoustic application on the wall. How can we support you? Besides my colleagues, they are locally available, physically available, which you can really discuss in detail. We have also several applications for references. For example, we have this lookbook available as an iOS and in the Android standard. We have service and support most of our catalogs, which are available in a print format. You can download also as a PDF. You can use sketches, details out of this whenever you need it, maybe to send it to someone of your clients. And last but not least, very important, KnaufAMF.com. There you can find most of the technical information for download, video clips also. We have an installation guidelines, of course. We have an acoustic calculator, a wide range which could be helpful for your design. And the design brings me to some selected references. I choose from different areas of the world, starting with the Stabilo cube, Stabilo panel maker. Very nice and very colorful application. Oh my God, yeah. This is the owner and the designer. We supply the color. But this is local project in Belgrade. It's the Microsoft Office, which is a really nice sample how a designer and architect is thinking and is transferring this into a product. Yeah, this was done locally here. They cut it these pieces on 100 by 100, and then they glued this onto the wall to create this pixel wall. Looks terrific. It's always, whenever I show this picture, it's wow, and it's really great. Another project which was realized in Dubai, for example, in a sports hall. This is in Doha, in Qatar, sports halls. Poland, you see the sports halls are very popular. Pole impact is important, of course. Small project is in an office, you see, still under construction. Yeah. But you can see we're playing with different shapes and formats and colors. You can create really very nice designs. Hot spring area, I showed you one of these blues at the beginning. In total here, more than 6,500 square meters of different colors have been installed. Another nice reference, so the whole blue, all the ribs are prefabricated elements. These are all acoustic panels, superfine and micro panels combined to get this design. The waves here on the project in Poland, recently realized project in Australia, very colorful on the walls and on the ceilings. And one more school project and university. Here the big and the nice thing is the engraved letters into the panels, 10 millimeters in depth, to create these areas of sentences of famous people all over the whole university. This is in Bremerhaven, and there is a large entrance hall, and the walls are covered with Heradesign to reduce in this big volume the reverberation time and to reduce the noise level for the crowd. You see the crowd down there, it's quite a large area. McDonald's has Heradesign in their material book to be specified in their projects for different designs. This is one in Paris, for example. At the beginning I showed one of these cinemas. This is in Kiev in the Ukraine. Also this one. And a very nice one in Singapore. This is the School of the Arts in Singapore, and here the Heradesign panels have to be applied in a completely different way. It must be not always covered. You can stagger them. They are even in three-dimensional elevated from the wall to create this nice pattern. University of Art in Posen in Poland. The rough concrete, the metal, together with the warm natural color of the Heradesign panel is a very, very nice combination. Singapore, library, they created this really organic ceiling actually. They cut this locally in a real perfect way. They have installed this to create this shape in this library with Heradesign fine panels, for example. Only some impressions. Private home of an architect in Finland. Of course, you see lots of glass, lots of hard surfaces, concrete, hard wood flooring. Acoustic is important to get a good room atmosphere. Even the dogs are totally relaxed on this picture. This is a very large project for a college where they installed more than 8,000 square meters of different products in this whole area. Gets me almost to the end. Only to summarize this, I hope I could give you an impression what a wood wool board can realize for your project. So it's a natural product. It's only wood wool. It's water and magnesite. Then of course it's made of high quality wood, sustainable. We have enough wood, so you have not to hold back. You can use many millions of square meters. The absorption performance I showed was is very important. Then the high impact resistance, the dimensional accuracy and the tolerances are essential. And of course you have two different design features. This porous structure and the closed structure combined with the fiber structures is unique, and it's only with Knauf AMF and Heradesign. So this is then basically what sustainable acoustic look like. Before I completely end, we are here in a very nice ski resort. My first visit here, but I want to give you also an impression about the ski resort in Austria. Very close to my home, but the ski resort in summer, it's maybe not so nice. In winter, it's even better. So thank you very much to the organization here. Thank you very much also to the whole team who has done a great job to organize everything. Also thanks to my colleagues. Thanks for your time. Wish you all the best. Looking forward to get some reference projects from you. Wish you all the best. Take care and see you soon again. Thanks.